It's over. Trump just signed his own death warrant. This ICE killing is going to be pretty much a breakthrough. It's going to be it's going to be a breakthrough. Here's the thing I want you to understand, because we're getting ready to go into shutdown. We're getting ready to go into shutdown, y'all. And I'm going to break down everything that's happening. I'm going to start opening up the whole deal. So please listen to the end of this, but at the same time, please share with other people. This one really matters. Here's the deal. First of all, as we know, Alex Preddy was an ICU nurse who, again, legal observer with a legal firearm, who did not draw his firearm. They took it from him, and then they beat his ass and shut him down. Unarmed, defenseless. A white man. I said something when Renee Nicole Good died. I said, was murdered. I said, it's going to take more white people to die and really to make a difference and take Trump on. And you might as well say it's over. He's dug his own grave with this, and he knows he has. Now, in private, he's saying he supports ICE. Kristi Noem, who is a fucking crackhead, has gone out and said this guy was a domestic terrorist. He didn't do anything. The whole cameras show that he did nothing. No more than Renee Nicole Good did anything. And now they're trying to go after the mayor and Governor Walz again over bullshit, talking about you're inciting insurrection. If he pulls the Insurrection Act, it's over for him. It's done. He's already over and done, but he'll go out the door quicker trying to pull that shit. Because everybody knows that's bullshit, total bullshit. The whole world saw it. What I really have to do, again, a shout out and a real big appreciation to everybody who caught the video and made sure that it was up on the internet like that. One side note I got to point out too. Yes, I know it's ironic that I used to work for Universal DreamWorks MCA. I promoted this Roots album that went platinum. And it's called All Things Fall Apart. And it was basically 6 different types of albums that were from, if you zoom in, that were from the civil rights movement of people running, getting water turned in, and dogs turned on them. I did not put this up on purpose. This just seemed to fit the moment, doesn't it? Just by irony. But I want you to understand this. When I say things like, wow, more white people have to die because of this, and I hope they don't. I don't want anybody to die. They're pushing the narrative, and they're pushing it as far as they can, and they're fucking with a powder keg. Apparently, these guys have never heard of Custer. They never heard of Custer, or they don't remember their own history, operation, and laws of their government. They will not get away with this. The person who shot him, his name will be out in a matter of hours, just like Jonathan, who shot Renee Nicole Good's name came out like that, right? Also, these people, just like Jonathan, is going to jail. They're going to jail. They're going to jelly. It's going to take a minute, but they're going to jail. They tried to take over the scene. Minneapolis police would not let them, thank God, because they covered the scene. DHS says the investigation will happen. Yeah, right, bullshit. The point is this: there is something that's going to come out of these deaths, unfortunately. These unfortunate deaths. There's going to be something that comes out of this, which means there's going to be, first, fuck ICE's funding in the Senate. They're not going to let that shit go down in the Senate. It's not happening. Fuck ICE funding in the Senate. Get pressure to your Congress people to let them know. No ICE funding in the Senate. There's some other things that are getting ready to go down because of this. Minneapolis and everybody across the country are more alarmed and alert than ever before. Side note, yes, comments usually come in, are you near a fire department? I most certainly am. That's why you hear them. Everything's fine. Here's the thing I want you to understand too. There's going to be a legal turnover of this. This is going to be a long-term fight. This is going to be one that they're going to regret big time. Seriously, big time. What this is also going to do is continue to piss off all of us. You know, last year I said that ICE raids are a blessing, and I wasn't joking. It pulls people together to fight back. And here you are actually killing people is one thing. But you're out there killing people who didn't do anything. Regular people. You know, and doing that does nothing but lead you into a absolute a road path to a violent excursion. A lot of you have asked me if there's going to be violence happening as a result of this. Well, we're trying to keep everybody peaceful because he wants an excuse to do the Insurrection Act and martial law. But the truth is that at some point, somebody's going to get fucked up over this. For real. You can't just sit there and go out and kill people in the streets and not be. But at the same time, yes, I wish that it's nonviolent. I don't encourage anybody to violence. I'm so sad that, you know, Alex lost his life like that over that bullshit, as well as Renee did. And what I'm trying to get all of you to understand is this. The biggest thing you can help, it may not seem like it's a big thing, but this is the biggest thing you can do to help. You can make sure that every one of these videos are shared, including mine right here, shared and shared across social medias, okay? I have Darren Monroe Politics here on TikTok, on Instagram. You definitely want to share the narrative, because if you are recording, if you're in the fight, if you're recording, and if you're uploading, we're winning. The more those videos get out against ICE, the better. That's what we have to continue to do. We have to fight ESGN, Epstein list, subsidies, gerrymandering, and of course, no ICE, no kings. We got to fight that. Don't let the other silly shit sidetrack you on the things he's doing. We need to keep on that, because now we have blood, not on our hands, but blood that's been spilled over this fight. There are people in these detainee places that are dying and being choked out and killed. You're hearing all these crazy stories of children being molested while incarcerated in those detainees. It is the craziest freaking stuff that you can ever see and know. And what I want you to understand is that at one point we're getting to that point where this guy is going to be done. Now, he may not even live 5 to 7 months, but the reality is that if they keep pushing this ICE narrative, there's going to be a breakout. And when the breakout happens, I think the military is going to be on our side, because at this point, they've pushed this to rebellion. It's not about us attacking military or National Guard. It's about us pulling ICE as far as possible away. And I must say this in every video that I do about ICE. Dear white people, dear minorities that are not African Americans, descended from an enslaved people. So I'm talking everything from Latinos, Asians, Arabs, Cubans, Caribbean blacks, African blacks from Africa. Listen, as well as whites, understand this. The treatment you see ICE doing, that's what black people who descended from an enslaved people been dealing with since post-Civil War for the last 160 years. That's the shit we've been talking about for the longest. Many of you didn't believe this would happen because many times they were just targeting us. But now they're targeting you, and particularly they're targeting white people. When they blowing white people out the street, this is when we're starting to see the truth of the violent nature of our authorities in this country. And this is what black folks have talked about. And I'm not here to tell you I told you so, we should have voted for Kamala, but remember this, Kamala got 31% of the vote. 36% of the people didn't even vote. If there was ever a time you should get to the polls, whether it be the midterm or whether it be the primary that's happening in March, or whether it be the primary that's happening in 2028, or the main one, November for president in November 2028, which I think Kamala's going to win. I'm telling you, this is the time to show the fuck up. For real. This is the time. Now, in addition to spreading videos around so we know the truth, those of you involved in the activities, be careful. I pray for your souls and your well-being. But as far as Trump going down, yeah, this is going to be a good one. Now, number one question that gets asked me since these shootings is Kristi Noem ever going to get impeached? Yes. Is it going to happen this year? No. We don't have the votes. We don't have the votes. Unless some Republicans finally get a fucking heart and say no is enough is enough, Noem is going to be around, unfortunately, for maybe another year unless they ask her to step down. We got to pressure to get her to step down, but you know how many people got to die under her watch? This is ridiculous. You got American fucking citizens getting gunned down in the street in the middle of Minnesota, peaceful ass Minnesota. And that's, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, this is going to come to a head. Because, and I'm just saying, those of you who get my comments talking about, well, it's got nothing to do with race, you're a fool. You're a fool. It had everything to do with race. The people who voted for Trump was voting on race. They were voting on the ability to subdue and still be okay and be white. They won't say that, but you got to be a fool not to know that. And they voted that shit. And now what we're dealing with is a situation where actual whites are getting hurt. Just like the big, beautiful bill wasn't designed to hurt the blue states, it's going to hurt the red states and gut their whole Medicare, Affordable Care Act, and really close their hospitals. Hospitals have started to close across the South right now. It was designed to hurt you. And it's the same shit that they're playing on poor white people and poor white people falling for since slavery. They promised you to be entitled. You didn't get any money. They fucked you over for the money, but promised you entitlement. And they played you like you were $2 hoes and told you, oh, you're. Now, true, we got problems on the left side for sure. Racism, prejudice. I've talked about that throughout my whole channel. But right now, what we're looking at is a scenario where if you don't really begin to see it and change it, there is going to be outbreaks across this nation. I don't encourage it. I want it to stay peaceful. But the more they strike us down in peaceful protests, there will be somebody who breaks out. Now, I hope it stays peaceful. Because the more they keep peacefully blowing people the fuck away, the more is going to be pressured like fuck Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem's going to get got by next year, I promise you, with the new Democratic majority. She's out. So is Trump, and so is a whole bunch of Trump-la-fucks out the door. They're gone. They're out. But understand this, until that happens, we got more deaths coming. Prepare. And the biggest thing you can help when these crises happen and there's any protest is share word on Minnesota, share word on any other protest with ICE anywhere, and work on abolishing ICE. And yeah, call your senators. Let them know, don't you fucking, I'm calling Dick Durbin's bitch ass, who's the one who voted against the shutdown twice last year. We're going to call Dick Durbin's bitch ass and tell him, listen, y'all better not vote for this ICE funding. Don't you vote for this bill. Don't you fucking touch this bill, motherfucker. Enough is enough. We got to stand up. We got to fight it. But breathe. Breathe. I want to take this moment and tell you, weirdly enough, I know it don't feel like we're winning. Because there's so much has been lost. People's lives. But in a weird way during this fight, we're winning. And the reason we're winning is because we're standing on the law. The reason we're winning is because we're standing in solidarity. The reason we're winning is because there's protests. The reason we're winning, and this is what I talked about for the last year, we are recording it, uploading it the right way, and distributing it the right way. Bravo, bravo, fucking, oh Bravo. From 30 years marketing branding, I gotta tell you, I am so proud of the process. People know now. And right, they know they're getting beat out by this. The whole idea is that we have to counter it. And yes, we know they're going to try to steal the midterms in 2028. Tactic dome, tactic blown. We had civil servants in 2020 who saved us in red and blue states, and we have them now. I always talk about the 25 governors and attorney generals. I always talk about the hundreds of nonprofit organizations, ACLU, NAACP, Indivisible.org, Democracy Force. Oh, lawsuits will be all over. And we're winning 70 to 95%. But at what cost is great. We are losing lives behind this of people who should never ever have been killed. No way. No way. Peaceful protesters, peaceful people who were just recording the process, or in this case with Pretty, is that he was jumping in between a woman being shoved down. That's all. He was not fighting ICE. He was just like, hey, let me help the woman up. And they grabbed him and started whipping his ass, took his gun and shot him. That's what we got. But it's going to lead to Trump's administration's end. What does the end look like? Well, first of all, being able to get Kristi Noem and other people out the door. Yeah, I know. I said it's a hard vote to get. But if we pressure, we could push that vote to get her out the door. We need to abolish ICE. And the reason I say Kamala Harris is the person, because Gavin Newsom just said he would not abolish ICE. I believe that Kamala absolutely would. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to die on that hill. But he, and I'm willing to say, with her as president right now, this would not be happening. This would not be happening. Chance of that happening. But with Newsom, he said some creepy things. He's talking about supporting, yeah, we'll still have ICE, we'll get training. And then you got people like Cory Booker, who's lost all his mind, talking about better training for ICE. Really, bitch? Man, I know his ass better not for 1 second think about voting for this bill. Oh no. Oh no. It's time. And what we're leaving a road down to is a couple of options. We can go to violent matter. We can gun up, start taking these ICE motherfuckers out. But I'm not in support of that. I do not support violence or even suggest it. I don't think that's the way to go. This gets you more of this. Or as Gandhi said, eye for an eye leaves us blind and toothless. It's not worth it. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Not worth it. But what I can say is that the more pressure that goes on Trump, we need to leverage this man's life for justice so that less people will die. Notice I didn't say no one wouldn't die. Less people will die. Because unfortunately, I think more will. But we're in this fight together, sharing these videos that happen when they go down like they do is so important. Being able to put word out, so important. And being able to keep your mind clear, your mind focused, and understand that we're going to make it through this. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it feels discouraging. But if we just hold on in strong faith, we can win this out. We are winning. It doesn't feel like it, but we are. I know you're going to say, I don't feel like we're winning. I know. Lives are being lost behind it. But when you're killing people in cold blood innocently, it changes the narrative quickly that they try to fight, that they're actually enforcing things. I really wish many people had listened to that black Indian woman married to the Jew, not got into their feelings and either not voted or voted for Trump. Whether they were white, whether they were Mexican, whether they were Latino of any kind, whether they were black people from the Caribbean or Africa, whether they were Asians, whether they were Arabic, whatever you are, now you understand the importance of what we must be voting for, because the cost is too great. The Democrats funded ICE to do this, and we must get our message across. Some are already backtracking in the Senate so it doesn't happen. So again, we're looking at a shutdown. But fuck it, shut it down. And this time, keep it shut down. Follow me for more. And if I've earned your subscription, thank you.